Hello everyone, welcome to the community meeting for the 13th and 14th. I just realized I put the wrong date there. This should be a reasonably short meeting, maybe not, who knows. The agenda is we're going to talk about the AutoML mini summit coming up on 16th of July. We'll talk about the deadlines and stuff for 1.3.1 release and 1.4 release and other topics around that. There's a pedal operator adoption thing I just want to ask some questions about. I have a question for whoever can sign some stuff about a contract to use a trademark with our studio and the Kubeflow shirt stuff. If anything else needs to be added, please do so during the meeting. So who wants to kick off the stuff with AutoML Summit and training?
Yeah, I think I can start, Matthew. Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is thank you. This is the final reminder, by the way, to everyone who is not aware of our summit. This will be on this Friday, so pretty soon. So a couple of things that I really want to see that if it would be great if you can share the link across your maybe company or across the interest group who just want to attend. So you can see like the full schedule on the doc that I attached or the first link. And the Zoom invitation link and calendar invite also should be there. We're using like the AutoML calendar for now, so you can just simply add this calendar to your. And also a couple of things. So is it possible, Matthew, to actually share the information in the Slack channel and an announcement group?
Yeah, I can either, if you want to paste it in the AutoML one, I'll share that message into the announcement channel if you want.
Okay.
Because then you can write it yourself if you want.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't have like permission to add that to announcement, but I have already done it like in general, but okay.
Oh, I can just share it from general if you want. I can do that right now if so.
Yeah, I think, yeah, from general should be fine.
Just link me to the message. I can't see it in general. Can you show
1 second. So this one.
Did you message it in the chat of this chat?
No, it should be in the chat, yes.
Ooh. Let me just. Okay, well, I'll do that after the meeting.
Cool. Yeah, okay, yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, and also like the last thing, I don't know, do you have anyone from the Kubeflow Twitter who has like permission to share or to add the tweets there?
I don't think we have a good. So there was a proposal a while ago about how to do that and make a process for that.
Okay.
Jan would probably be the best person to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can answer like this couple of questions like regarding to the Kubeflow Twitter account. Are you aware of anything else from their side?
Yeah, Jan, can you hear me? We can't hear you. Hello? I guess not. So yeah, there is some process there, but raise an issue on the community thing, and maybe tag Jan and maybe even yeah, who's the other person who can do it?
I think Thea
may have permission. I don't know if she has the permission, but hopefully we can. So just tag them, and then hopefully that'll happen. Just give the text of what you want to say.
Okay, sounds good. Josh, do you also want to give like an update regarding the user panel? Maybe any comments from the users who will attend?
Well, we've organized a few users at different levels of their journey in Kubeflow, and we're hoping that they'll have an interactive discussion on their use cases around Kubeflow, especially with CATIB and the training operators, as well as their expectations and any challenges that are running. We're going to do that at I believe that's scheduled at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah,
on Friday.
In the morning. So, yes, correct.
Hopefully that'll be a good session. And Andre, I'm hoping you'll be there to help me out as well on that session with some backup from the community.
Yeah, thank you so much, Josh, because this session will be very valuable because we can directly interact with the customers. So I think it will be very interesting to speak with them. So do we actually want to share the docs right now about this user panel, or we can do it after the summit that we have? Because currently in this schedule, we don't have this doc that you created for the user panel.
Yeah, I mean, the user prep doc was really designed to give to the people that would be speaking, to give them a heads up so we didn't blindside them with questions that they weren't ready for. But, I think if we need to share that, we will. But we are going to record the session, correct? All the sessions will be recorded. So I figured that would be the proper artifact to share with the community. But if you think we need to share the prep doc, I can do that too.
I think it should be fine, yes, since we have all of the recordings, so community can just take a look after the summit. Yeah, so this is pretty much. I hope we have a lot of attendance, and please, if you have any questions, feel free to ping us on the Slack channels or on the GitHub as well. So, yeah. Do you want to add something, Josh, or we're ready to go? Okay, sounds good.
Cool. So just to reiterate for anyone who wasn't following there, I think there's a particular session that people people to come to. Is that this user panel one? Which is
this is
4 to 4:45?
this should be very interesting, because as I said before, this will be the questions to our Kubeflow users, and similar to the user panel in 2018, if anyone here remember it. But this should be really interesting for people to just want to see how they're using Kubeflow in production, and to
so to clarify, can people come along and answer questions, or are they just watching, or is the panel already selected?
Josh, do you want to answer it? How are we planning to actually manage this session?
We invited, we put out a request. We got a response from 4 users. They're going to sit on a panel. I think there's one from EBI, the European Biometrics Institute. So they are a very large organization, Volvo and a couple others that are now going to sit and go through a series of Q&A with us in a 45-minute session to kind of provide their perspective. If somebody else wants to join, look, I'm more than willing to bring in other perspectives as well. I think we can fit 5 people in the panel and still get good answers because we do have some time to do some Q&A. And Andre will be there to also ask and answer some questions along the way too.
Cool. So
yeah, definitely. So we're welcome to anyone to come and just ask the questions there.
Awesome. So to move on, is that just final statement there is that on the 16th, which is a Friday?
Yeah, this Friday.
This Friday?
This Friday, yeah, we will start super early Pacific time for Asia friendly time zone, and we will go through till around 1 or 12 p.m. Pacific time. So people can join at any time when they have when they're available. But we're trying to cover all of the time zones across all of the world. Yeah.
Cool. We can do a ping in the whole. I mean, I might not want to, but we could ping the whole Slack as well at the time it starts if you want.
We can. I don't know if people want to.
It might be.
Okay. we can ping. It's fine. If we don't spam people, I think it should be good.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So for 1.3.1, is anyone here from that release team? It doesn't look like it. But if anyone is, speak up. If not, then I think the main thing we just want to highlight is the dates. So obviously the manifest testing date is supposedly passed. The distribution testing date is coming up on the 26th, so I'm not sure what the actual steps we need between those 2 points. Does anyone, I guess we could look at the tracking issue and just confirm there's nothing super important here before we move on, because at 1.3.1 obviously is an important patch release. Looks like there's some action.
Yeah, so in the manifest working group today, 1.3.1 looks to be on track. They're just, Kumonis is doing some final testing. It's going to release the manifest out so the distributions can start their testing. And I think all that seems to be pretty much on track.
Cool. So on track to release on July 29th, I guess?
It will depend upon each of the distributions. Some of the distributions are more actively pushing forward, but there's at least 3 or 4 that are in the, preparing to do their testing over the next 2 weeks.
Because it looks like there's a pretty short period of time between July 26th and 29th, right? Yep, that's a very short period of time, like 4 days. Is that right? Yeah.
Distribution.
If I understand correctly,
we'll start in a couple days, probably this week.
So that might actually be early. So distributions can start testing as soon as that manifest gets cut. I guess that's what we're trying to say.
Yes.
Cool. So I imagine 4 days is not quite enough time. Who wanted? Someone else is talking. Sorry.
I was understanding it as July 26th as the deadline for distribution testing. Is that right?
That makes more sense. Okay, so
but it might get pushed out because like we are still waiting for manifest to be ready.
Cool. So that's the date you have to be done by. I see. Awesome. Cool. Anyone else want to add anything about 1.3.1 before we move on? If not, message in the chat. 1.4. So 1.4 is obviously the next major release of Kubeflow, or technically minor, but major, whatever. So is anyone here from that release team that can give an update on what the release team's currently doing? I don't think they are. I can't see anyone. But I think there was a message out in Kubeflow Discuss recently, but yeah, Josh, are you familiar with what specifically is going on here, or not?
On 1.4.
Yes, I'm looking at the Kubeflow Discuss right now if I can find it. Doesn't look like there's been an update.
We're in the midst of development. I mean, I think we're well on our way. We did all the roadmap session reviews, right? And now we're working with each of the working groups are working on updating their roadmaps. We're going, Malini is going to update the Kubeflow roadmap. She's got a PR open for that, or at least an issue open for that. And the release handbook has been, followed. We've got release dates identified. So, I mean, I think in general, we should be checking in with the working groups and making sure that they understand these dates, but they've been advertised, they've been on the Kubeflow lists, and I'll make sure that when I attend the various working group meetings, I'll ask them how they're doing on their projects or their process towards this. But I think it all looks pretty much in line right now. I don't see any blocking issues right now. If anybody sees any in any of the working groups, please let us know.
Well, I think obviously the thing that we need to highlight is that you only have 1 month to develop anything you want to add in 1.4, because after that there's a feature freeze on the August 16th.
Yeah, that's not exactly correct, because there was development that was happening after we did the last release. So, there's been features that have been, put into the master.
Yeah, okay. What I'm meaning is like, you have to have cut a branch for the or whatever, however release process you follow in your working group. Like you can't be adding major features after that day. I think that's what we agreed, right?
Sure.
Obviously, you can continue developing the next release, obviously, but for the 1.4 version, whatever that is going to be for your working group, I think the whole point is that you put that into patch mode and then just keep patching. Is that correct? I believe that's correct. If anyone wants to correct me, and so that's the date there. So you've got a month before that time, which is not that far away, obviously. Cool. Other than that, that's exciting. I imagine most of these topics were discussed. Do we want to discuss the shirts, Josh?
Can I have a question to the 1.4? Oh, yeah. So do we have anyone from the Kubeflow pipelines team?
Yes.
Yeah, just a quick question. So because
yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, we finally actually merged the PR, as I saw, with the multi-user support in Kubeflow pipelines. So will it be like part of the Kubeflow 1.4 for the Kubeflow pipelines, or you will just release the SDK earlier?
What is the issue again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so let me actually post it. I think we discussed about it on the previous meeting, on the Kubeflow community meeting. So it was the PR that we merged in the Kubeflow pipelines to support them, to use like Kubeflow pipelines in multi-user mode. And it was like SDK changes. And I think this SDK changes are already in the master. So the question is like when Kubeflow pipelines team will release the new version of SDK.
Oh, okay. So if you can post the GitHub issue
Yeah,
over
sure.
here, I can follow up and give you the exact date. But I think the KFP SDK, along with the backend, we are targeting 1 week from now to make a release. But I'm not sure whether that includes a change or not. But
But
yes,
eventually, like,
like targeting 1 week from now.
okay.
Let me take a look. Yeah.
So that's this PI here, I guess.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I probably should always submit 5 days ago. So Chen probably is the best one to answer. Chen Shun, ChenSun. So I'm going to ping him so he can give you an answer on the GitHub issue.
Cool.
Okay, that's great.
Does it sound good?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, James. Because like on the, as I said, on the previous meeting, there were like a couple of users who actually want this feature to be in the master from Kubeflow pipelines, and this is very important for them.
Oh, okay. May I ask who are the users who are interested in this one?
I think we have this from 1 second. So I only remember like the names, don't know the companies. But I think
just the company. Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the company?
I remember that John from Nutanix asked about it, but there are a couple of folks also who just asked about it. But we can try. Yeah, we can take a look for the recording because I think we have the recording for the previous meeting, right?
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, we can take a look over there. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I can collect this information and share with Chen about this.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Thank
Anyone
you.
else want anything about 1.4 before we move on? Because we can close out the meeting soon. 1.4. Anyone? Okay. If not, that's good. So I just wanted to ask about there was an adoption of another project. I don't know if Jan is here to discuss this, but is this moving forward, Jan?
Yes, this is moving forward, and I'm working through internal processes to get this finished, and I'll update more when I have something I can share.
Awesome, cool. I've also got another quick question for you, which is I've got so we've had so that we can include in the docs the words RStudio. RStudio gave us a contract, which was just saying that we won't misuse their trademark and whatnot. I think you do have it, Jan. Is that correct? Is there any follow up that we could do on that?
I think it's really challenging to use RStudio trademark because they only grant the trademark to one, I think, legal entity. It either has to be, even if it's Kubeflow, but Kubeflow is not a legal entity, but never mind. Even if they grant this to Kubeflow, it's not granted by default to all distributions of Kubeflow. So I think for everyone who wants to use RStudio trademark and distribute it, every distribution needs to sign a contract with them.
Oh no, so that's different. So the actual RStudio code itself. I'm not an expert. This is not legal advice, but I'm not sure that matters because it's distributing the unaltered code. But we're talking here about so that we can put in the docs on kubeflow.org. That's really all I care about, is to say there is an RStudio image in this repo, but I can't even say that without that contract being signed.
I see.
And so it's really just,
Okay.
and that's so someone who represents Kubeflow, or at least is the owner of that website, which I think is Google. That's, or maybe not, maybe it is. I don't know how this legal structure works, but whoever owns that website, kubeflow.org, that's the only place I want to put RStudio. I'm not talking about the distributions, including RStudio, which they don't have to, obviously.
I see. Do you have a tracking issue summarizing the context? I can surface the problem internally and see how we can resolve it.
I can make one on the community thing, but obviously I won't post the actual contract there.
So who received the contract?
Didn't we send it to you? I thought we sent. So we received it from some executive at RStudio, and I think a couple of people were involved, like George back when George was involved, and I was forwarded it as well. I can re-forward it to you again. It's just unsigned right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be helpful. I didn't see this email before.
If you message me your email on Slack, I can just forward it to you again today.
Okay, will do.
That will give you more context, and you can read it. It's very clearly. It's like it's pretty much just about using the trademark. It's not about distributing the code. That's different. Cool. They're concerned about us not being viewed to them being viewed to endorse us. You know what I mean? Sorry, like, you know what I mean? That's what they're wanting to prevent, to make sure that it doesn't look like they're endorsing Kubeflow. That's all. Anyway, cool. Sorry about that, rest of everyone. So Josh, more positive note. Do you want to talk about the shirts? If you've got anything about that?
Yeah, it made progress. Taya's finalized up on the swag request form. I think that she's got some other administrative work to do. We may slip a few more weeks. She's got, I guess, to issue a PR to get this finally approved and through and approved. So that may go to the end of the month, but it looks as though the approval process for the swag request, the form has been set up and ready to go. And then from there, I guess you get approved, you get an approval code, and then you can go to the store and order. So it looks like it's going to be a two-step process. I'm just confirming that with her now. And when I have the finals on that, I will get back to the community. Hopefully I'll have that this week or now maybe before the end of the month, but I'm hoping to push this forward faster. Make sense?
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Anything important anyone wants to raise before we close out the meeting? Okay, cool. I will make sure to share that announcement of the summit on the Slack into the announcements channel. And other than that, thanks everyone for coming. The recording will be available in a couple of days, if not today, sent out on the mailing list. Thanks. I will stop recording now.